Quentin Tarantino just shelved The Movie Critic. The film, whose titular character was said to be a cross between Howard Stern and Travis Bickle, was supposed to be Tarantino's 10th and final as a director. We're going to get into the why he canceled it, but first, please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and bell icon. For years, Quentin has been saying he'll retire from directing once he's completed 10 films. For those keeping score, he counts Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2 as one movie. His plan is to write novels and books on film criticism after that. Maybe the odd play or TV show, but no more movies. Tarantino claims he studied the careers of directors in film history and, more often than not, the worst movies they put out are always at the end, in their later years. He compares auteurs to boxers. Simply put, in his estimation, they don't get better with age. He's all about his body of work, and feels one bad movie negates 3 good ones. This hot take has obviously sparked a lot of debate. Some respect how adamant he is in trying to achieve perfection. Others find the notion silly. If you're physically able, why stop doing something you're good at? Especially when there's no shortage of ideas. A lot of unmade QT projects have been reported over the years, like Kill Bill Volume 3, where Vanita Green's daughter seeks revenge on the bride for killing her mom, or the Inglourious Basterds spinoff, where a group of black soldiers fight their way to Switzerland. He even had an insane pitch for an R-rated Star Trek. When the Movie Critic was announced, all those projects went away. With the slot reopened, however, it's possible one of them could become a reality. But we can't have all of them, because, God knows why, it has to be 10. In case you're wondering, Tarantino is the only one of his contemporaries self-imposing the strict quota. Paul Thomas Anderson, director of Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood, has an opinion on Tarantino's only 10 rule. I don't know how he could say that, or how he could take himself seriously when he says that. This is what I want to do, as long as I'm able to do it. Then there's Christopher Nolan. On the one hand, he understands Tarantino's perspective. He says Quentin is looking at some of the work done by filmmakers in later years, and feeling that if it can't live up to the heyday, it would be better if it didn't exist. And I think that's a very purist point of view. It's the point of view of a cinephile who prizes film history. But when it comes to his own work, Nolan holds a different opinion. I'm not sure that I would trust my own sense of the absolute value of a piece of work to know whether or not it should have been brought into existence. I'm a big fan, as is Quentin, of films that maybe don't fully achieve what they try to do. But there's something in there that's a performance, or a little structural thing, or a scene, that's wonderful. And so yes, I understand. Wanting to keep a sort of perfect reputation of something, but also kind of don't want to take anything off the table. Not to mention, there's evidence to the contrary. The same day that Quentin canceled The Movie Critic, new projects were announced from 2 living legends. Steven Spielberg is making a UFO movie based on his own original idea, while Martin Scorsese is making back-to-back films. One about the life of Jesus Christ, the other a DiCaprio-starring Frank Sinatra biopic. Believe it or not, Quentin has actually loosened up. He used to claim he'd retire after 10 films, or by age 60. The man's currently 61, so glad he at least gave himself a little wiggle room, although that initial bar is telling for when he believes filmmakers start to decline. But even he would tell you there's exceptions. In recent years, Tarantino has named Midnight in Paris, Mad Max Fury Road, and The Irishman as some of his favorite films. Know what they all have in common? All 3 movies were made by men who were in their 70s at the time of their release dates. Personally, I'm with Nolan. While a 10-film quota seems extreme, it's coming from a man and a mindset whose unique way of thinking gave us Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. You don't create work like that by thinking like everybody else. Also, in terms of marketing, it's kind of brilliant. Think about it. When you declare a finite number of films, each and every one becomes more valuable, a rare artistic commodity. That said, shelving The Movie Critic because it's not the mind-blowing masterpiece you want to go out on is kind of a bummer. Because let's be honest, given Tarantino's track record, it would have been awesome. Instead, it's being added to a pile of unrealized bangers, movies that could and probably should be made, and would, were it not for a man's strict adherence to an arbitrary number. But what do you think? Do you admire Quentin for sticking to his guns and stopping at 10? Or would you rather the man kept going, like 93-year-old Clint Eastwood? For that matter, do you believe him? Or do you think he'll inevitably unretire and announce an 11th flick? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe.